Well, welcome back to Phillip Island on the Saturday afternoon post-qualifying for all classes. And, of course, it's the man Wayne Maxwell on top. I'll just run through some of the times. Wayne Maxwell from Boost Mobile, powered by K-Tech, he did a 1:31.363, followed by Cru Halliday, who we'll discuss in a minute, from the Yamaha Racing Team, a 1:32.803. And from Maxima Racing Oil's BMW, Josh Waters, 1:32.911. We're also joined by Senna Agius, who was the top qualifier in Supersport with a 1:35.307. Gentlemen, I'm going to come straight to you, obviously, Wayne Maxwell. Let's have a chat about today. Now, look, we ran a bit of a sweep up here because, you know, it was quite fascinating to see the times that you were capable of, but didn't quite get to the same level as yesterday. Take us through the conditions, because I gather that played the biggest role of all.
Yeah, obviously, yesterday morning we came out of the box quite strong. We had a good setting from testing and bits and pieces. So, yeah, look, that came out all right. I was actually surprised myself yesterday morning, but then obviously the conditions, that was the best we've had all weekend, pretty much the conditions. And, yeah, we came out then, obviously then it was very, through caution to the wind, so to speak. The wind was very strong a lot, and it was very changeable, very gusty out of turn 2 down to turn 3. And, yeah, sort of just put it all on the line for a lap and, yeah, skated my way through it. And, yeah, happy to claim the first pole of the year and, yeah, obviously reward the guys from Boost Mobile with K-Tech, you know, the first pole. And, yeah, pretty much started where we left up last year.
What do you do during that short session? Do you have a look at the early time and think, well, that'll do it? Or was today a case of getting, because you did actually drop the time over the course of the session. At what stage did you think, well, that's probably enough?
When I did a 31.3, I was like, there's nothing left in that. If someone's got more than that, they can have it. So pretty much, obviously, my first run on the used race tyre was obviously, you know, good enough for pole. But obviously, you know, you'd be pretty cocky to sit there and wait for that. I expected the other guys, you know, to be a little bit faster and closer than that. But, you know, everyone has their own things going on out there. So tomorrow's going to be a totally different story.
Now I'll move to you, Cru Halliday. Cru, we were watching and actually someone said, gee, Cru want to get a wriggle on. You were between 10 and 12 for much of the session. Take us through your session, because evidently whatever was going on, you sorted out, because P2 was a pretty great performance in the end.
Yeah, you know, everyone starts sort of roughly with the old tyre that they did in free practice 4, and, you know, I just probably left it a little later than normal, and, you know, I looked down and seen we had 6 minutes left, so I come around on the first lap, seen P12, and I was like, I've got 2 laps to shine here, so to be honest, I struggled out in the wind. I don't even understand how Wayne got to that time in those conditions, so hats off to him, but, you know, I didn't go as fast as what I did yesterday, so I'm a bit disappointed, not even getting close to actually where I was, but in saying that, I did have a small crash in turn 4, so it sort of knocked a bit of confidence out of me, but I'm starting to get a feel for it again. So, you know, I'm looking forward to the 2 races tomorrow. It's going to be hard to latch on to Wayne. You know, I did it in 2020, but it looks like he's brought even more pace this year, so it'll be interesting. Well,
a few days ago, you did say, look, qualifying will be tricky. He's going to be quick, but in the race, as long as I can see him, I can chase him. You feel like you're walking that back a little bit, or do you still feel like there's an opportunity for you to, you know, get in the toe, and if it's a windy day like this, you may have the opportunity to do so? Is that something you're still thinking about, or?
100%. I'm going to jump on him as fast as I can, but, you know, it's easier said than done. Like, if I didn't chase him, well, I couldn't call myself a racer, would I? But you know, as I said, in 2020, before all this COVID happened, I could run with him, but I couldn't actually pass him. But if I'm with him, I'm obviously going to try to give it a go, but as I said before, easier said than done.
Josh Waters, I'll move across to you. Look, in the new team, we spoke about, you know, not the teething problems, but just the settling in process, working with new people. You said they're a great bunch to work with, but today you sort of rewarded them for the faith and the effort that they put in by putting it in P3, which is a pretty outstanding performance. You must be stoked.
Yeah, my aim was to try and get on the front 2 rows, and we were able to achieve that. Limited time on the bike. Every time I go out there, I always find things, and also I think I ride a little bit different to the previous riders they've had. So, you know, the road I want to go down, we're having to go a little bit different. So, but yeah, big thanks to the Maxima BMW team, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Just try and, I guess, hang on.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask next is, you know, you're not that far behind. It'll be you and Cru chasing Wayne. Do you have a strategy in mind, or is it just blaze at it because the race is still, you know, 13 laps isn't a huge amount, so you can't afford to have a sit and wait strategy?
It's 12, I think.
12. Yeah, well, I want you to do an extra lap for the cool down.
A lot depends. The wind really affected our bike today. So in some places it was fantastic, and then others it was like, oh my God. So tomorrow, I haven't really followed.
Well, I gather there's less wind tomorrow though for all of you, so that's probably.
Yeah, I hope so.
There's no wind.
Yeah.
rain.
So hopefully tomorrow it's going to be hard because there's a few other guys that have had good pace all weekend. But I guess we'll all be chasing Wayne, who did, like what Cru said, he did an amazing lap. So congrats to him and his team.
But is there more to unlock? Have you got changes in mind for your bike, or are you pretty much that's a good settled position to be in, and you'll just have to wring its neck?
For sure, there's things that we can keep improving. Like, looking at the bike, you could see that I was using all the suspension travel and stuff, but I've gone like another step quicker. So tomorrow, hopefully, like you said, there'll be no wind. It'll be perfect, and we'll try and hang on to them.
Well, I'll turn now to Senna. Senna, I won't call it a guest ride because you're here legitimately in the Australian Superbike Championship racing in the Supersport 600, but the truth is you are going away next week. Take us through what the experience is like coming in, having this hit out and finding yourself in this room today.
I think it's really good because I've blended it well into my off-season actually. So this bike was like my off-season training bike, and now that I've found time and my calendar allows me to be here, and I was here for the last round at the Bend part-timely. But no, it allows me to race, and for sure when it was on, I was asking Dad, asking the family if I could do it. So for me, we're working quite well, and I'm happy to be here, and it's perfect for me to have this hit out before I go over next week.
Now, it was a bit of an interrupted session for your qualifying. You didn't go quicker after the red flag when Tom Edwards came off. Was there anything there, or was it change in weather, or did you lose interest? What was the situation for you?
No, our tyre just, for me, the Michelin is the best in the first 5 laps, and that's proven now. We've had, I think, like 4 solid stabs and 4 sessions of facts that I can only do the time in the first 5 laps good, and then I drop a few tenths after that from lap 5 to lap 20. I don't change much, so that's my time to shine, and after that I'm building the pace for the next session. Well,
that actually leads me then into the next question. How's your full-length race pace, do you think, for tomorrow?
I think it's quite good. We have a plan in mind, and let's try and execute it.
Well, hopefully we'll see also Tom Edwards back after his crash in that session. We gather that he will be back for tomorrow's race. As we've intended to do for some time, I'm going to throw it over to the media. I know, Matt, you've got a question, so I'll be happy to take your question. Anyone else? Alex Gobert, you've got a question always. And Russell, you don't get any questions. Anybody?
Yeah. Hey, just for Cru. Cru, how's it feeling out there? Do you still feel motivated to chase and go for the title this year? Is it something you can aim for and build on in future rounds?
Yeah, after our year last year, I was really angry in the off season, and hopefully I've brought that aggression into round 1. But I just don't want any setbacks. I don't want any of this like COVID stopping racing and that. We haven't had a proper season yet for a while, and I think the last two series have been like 3 to 4 races max. So I want it to go all year, and I really want to put a fight. I've never actually been in a position at the end where like I've been in a championship like contention at the end of a title. I've led one probably at the end of 19 at the start of it for like 3 rounds probably max, and then I just got swallowed by the pack. But I want to turn that around. I want to go swinging all the way to the end.
And the feeling within the team is pretty buoyant.
Yeah. They brought Jonesy in, and he's obviously trying to beat me. Obviously, I want to beat him. So it's sort of bumping our pace up a little bit. But the team I think has been, as most of you have seen, they've thrown a lot more resources at it this year. We've been testing more than normal. So as long as that keeps going, we're going to be looking pretty good.
All right, Edgy, you got anything?
Flat out, other things.
Too busy doing other things. I mean, there's nothing more important than this presser. Let's go foremost.
Next on me to Alex Gobert, cycleonline.com.au. For Josh Waters, you're back on competitive equipment, obviously. How important is it for you to start off on the right foot like this to get on the front row, and is it a relief of sorts for you?
Yeah, 100%, because I think last year at this round, the first round, I think I was on the 5th row, and coming into Christmas and stuff like that, I honestly thought I'd lost it. So to have people believe in you still, and I've got a great bunch of personal sponsors that have made it possible for me to compete. So, and also the team sponsors. The team have been fantastic, bending over backwards to get me out there. So, yeah, it's great to reward those guys with the faith they showed in me.
And for Wayne, you mentioned at the podium, you essentially stepped away from racing, to an extent. We obviously know you announced your retirement, but yeah, you mentioned you sort of went away from the bikes altogether in terms of ASBK, that sort of thing. So how critical was that for you? And it looks like it just rejuvenated and obviously had that momentum early.
Yeah, obviously at the start in 2021, it was I've pretty much said it was naive of us to think that we were going to get a full season when we look back on how COVID worked out. But look, yeah, when it came to the off season, had a massive year. It's stressful with 2 young kids at home, and my family always comes second so I can race, and any of these guys understand that the sacrifices you make, or most of you do in the room. So. So that I just wanted to make sure it was the right thing, and make sure just to have life without racing, to see what it brought. And obviously my guys were keen, and we were talking, and we were just making sure everything was aligned, and that we could make the biggest thing is make a step forward, because when you're going around doing the same stuff, it's boring for me. I like to be challenged. I'd rather be a tenth ahead than where we are, just to really get the most out of myself, the pressure. I'd rather finish second to someone and be doing 30s than doing that's what I'm at. So I'm here to challenge myself, and all my guys are the same. That's what we're here to do. And I honestly can't wait the future rounds. And for these guys also, at one point they'll be in my position, and they'll fully understand it.
All right, are there any other questions from our several journos?
No, just like to congratulate Wayne on an awesome lap.
Congratulations. And just a note there also, it's 25 pole positions for Wayne Maxwell in ASBK today. So congratulations on that. It's a year of Wayne shooting for records.
It's only one a year. It's not too good, is it, when I average it out?
Well, that's another Russell Coleman fact. I think he was quite pleased with that outcome this afternoon. But from here at the Phillip Island circuit, where the race this weekend is brought to you by spokes.com.au and Visit Victoria, we're out for now. We'll be back tomorrow live from 10 a.m. on asbk.com.au and Facebook streaming. 1 o'clock sees SBS and Stan carry our races live for the afternoon, and then return to streaming at 4 o'clock. We'll also be back here for a press conference post-race for tomorrow. But for now, here at Phillip Island, it's goodbye.